flipping around.
You were frozen.
Me?
Were frozen. Oh,
I'm
that's a
using an
smelly
iPhone,
fish.
so it probably took a while to catch up.
So good day, YouTube. Good day, James. Good day, Guy. Guy hasn't been here in forever. I'm just showing off my chest.
I'm just living the daddy life.
The daddy life. Okay. I'm going to be drinking tonight out of one of my McDonald's glasses. It's got the fries, stuff like that. And because I have no drinking beer, I have beers that I have to do a semi-review of, basically a yay or nay while we're chatting.
Cuvée. Mix that shit up.
And my first beer will be from Turncoat, and it was sent to me by Brian. And it is Almost Witty Wit Beer.
Wit beer?
Yeah, wheat beer.
Oh, wheat beer. I thought you said wit as in W-I-T. I was going,
Yes,
what the hell
yeah,
is that?
that's what I said. It's a wit beer.
Oh, I heard wheat. You're both lying to me.
It could be the echo in my head that I heard, so I don't know. There it is.
Ugh.
So witty. You're so witty.
Almost Witty. Apparently, it is actually a wit beer pale ale hybrid.
Why is your picture in the can?
Who? Oh.
Close your left eye.
Who are you talking to?
Who am I? Who am I talking to?
I'm a little confused. I didn't realize that we were playing Simon Says.
Well, you know,
Simon, Mommy, Daddy. What's that movie again? Simon.
what about Simon? I haven't
It's
talked
like
to Simon in a very long
that little
time.
kid is like Simon, Mommy, Daddy. Autistic kid movie.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that. I remember the old cartoon where it was Simon that he drew chalk drawings that came to life.
Simon.
When he says "mommy, daddy," all I can think of is "mommy finger, where are you?"
Well, when he says "mommy, daddy," it reminds me of Caillou.
Oh yeah, Mercury Rising. 1998.
Yeah. I like how it's like the little blue man carrying a hot fuck cone.
Hot fuck.
He's got really big feet.
That's what she said.
You know what they say about a person with big hands, big feet, and a big nose, right? They're a clown.
Which depends which nose you're talking about.
I am kind of a clown, you're right.
I fucking knew these comments would come out.
Ugh. Well,
If I get drunk quick, I'm sorry, but I haven't eaten yet, and well, here's my barley sandwich.
they found a condom on the shelf, and at the place that shall not be named, but they found a condom on the shelf, and they brought it back, and they were like, "Oh, look at what our great customers have left," and stuff like that, and there was one guy who was like, "That's not big enough for me," which made me have to open it and roll it down my arm and go, "Really? Really? Not big enough for you?"
And if you remember correctly, I was the one standing in the background while all the girls standing there looking at you giggling, and I went and said, "Ladies, if he's trying on a condom, don't look."
Oh, we're so embarrassed.
Well, I got accused that it was mine. I was standing over by the welders, and suddenly it was James.
That's why Glenn said it wasn't his. He was too small for him.
Would it fit over the cantankerous cook's fist?
Yes, it would fit over the cantankerous cook's fist.
Holy shit. That's a huge cock.
So you've never met Paul, James, but yeah, Paul makes me look like a baby in all ways.
Well, I'm okay. I don't have a friendship with anybody that I've looked at their wiener, so
I'm talking about just body shape, not wiener shape.
okay, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. You said in all ways, so of course my shitty old mind goes where.
He used to, one of his favorite things to do was surprise people with his nuts. Like you'd come around the corner and there'd be his nuts, and you're like, really? Like seriously? To the point where he got a frame that was like a hand, and he took a picture of his nuts and put it in the frame, and then put it on the top of a buddy of his wall where you couldn't reach it without a ladder, so that he had to come in all the time and look at it. There was Paul's nuts looking at him.
Yep, just these nuts
Yeah.
every day. Oh,
Salty reminder. .com.
I don't even know where he lives now. The last time I talked to him, he was living in St. Catharines. Curious where he's at. He was still doing electrical engineering for all the prisons.
Was it like clamping on prisoners' nipples with like car batteries or
No,
something?
he would be the guy that would like program their gates and replace stuff in them. And
I'd see him place booby traps, like fisting booby traps.
the prisoners might enjoy that.
Not with this fist, apparently.
Well, maybe with a condom.
I brought some condiments. Condiments? Anybody want some condiments?
no, why would I want a mint flavored condom
I was just gonna say that.
or a condom flavored mint?
What's with the English
Which one would be
language?
worse? Which one would be worse?
Why is it in English that they got condom ants? A grocery store. Well, they're selling condom ants.
That doesn't answer the question, Guy.
Like
What's worse? What's
mustard mint?
worse, a condom flavored mint or a mint flavored condom?
Well, someone would like sucking back a cool one, like a.
Is it like a mint that tastes like rubber? Some car enthusiasts might love that.
It was a good year.
My next beer will be the Oat Pale Ale from Turncoat, called Pillow Fort. Pillow Fort.
Pillow fart would be a better thing.
No, you get pink eye from pillow farts. Don't do that.
And it says
Oh
here,
my!
love this beer, we have more.
That happened last week. My coworker, his dog farted on his pillow. He actually got pink eye from that.
Is that how Shahid got his pink eye? Somebody farted on his pillow?
No, his dog did.
Logan has had pink eye too,
Because somebody farted on his pillow?
but it's possible. He has what? 2 dogs, 2 cats, a girlfriend, and a roommate.
It's the roommate. He goes to work and the roommate farts on the pillow.
I was just thinking of what's the worst case scenario here. Probably the roommate.
That sounds like $80 per Saturday. Holy shit! That just looks like a regular beer.
Yeah, just a little bit of haze and golden color. Yeah, it looks pretty regular. But remember, it's an oat pale ale. It's a pale ale made with oats.
What does that smell like?
I don't know. Alicia, what's this smell like to you?
Fuck.
Ew.
What do you mean, ooh?
It smells like beer.
Well, it is beer, so I'm glad
No,
it's...
like smells like beer. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're saying it just smells like beer, just beer.
Yeah.
How close to cereal is beer? Is that beer smell?
I thought with the oat property it would smell slightly different.
I look so closely at things because I'm legally blind.
Who was asking that question?
Tars.
SARS.
What brewery did you just hit up, Malty? Ooh, a new one in Hamilton.
He's never drunk sorry. See, he's always drunk happy. What are you talking about?
I'm very rarely drunk. I don't like being drunk.
You don't try hard enough.
Aqua Nova?
What? Why do I know that?
By the Hamilton Spec Building. Okay. Okay. What styles did they have, Malty? Anything interesting?
Hamilton.
Is it? Tell me it's not just pale ales. Tell me it's not just pale ales because that's the Hamilton thing, right? You got like Collective Arts. You have fucking. Oh, I can't even remember them all anymore.
Yeah, well,
It's been so long.
Saskatchewan's not much better. It's the land of Pilsner and Pale Ale.
True. Pilsner and Pale. What were the other ones in Hamilton that were big on the pale ales? There was a bunch of them. And like three of them are within like spitting distance of each other.
It'd be horrible if I owned the brewery. Like every beer would be a stout, but they each tasted like a piece of furniture. This one's leather couch. This one's like a ceramic table. This one's fucking leather.
What do we got? We have Merit. So Merit
Cares.
was the one that one of the ones that makes a lot of pale ales. So Aqua Nova Brewery. Oh, it's on Frid Street. Okay. Fairweather was the other one I was thinking of. Clifford.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. Grain and Grit. All of those make mostly pale ales.
She stole pepperoni.
What you doing with the pepperoni cock?
I think if that was your cock, you might not be married.
I might not be married.
Not big enough,
I'm
not
sorry,
spicy
like, I
enough.
wouldn't feel that, so I would be like throwing a hot dog down the hallway, honey. I'm glad you're not like that.
So bicycle pumps are for.
I like your wife, sir. She's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, she married me. She has to have a good sense of humor.
Well, that's what the problem with my wife is. She laughed too much.
That's why you married me. I have a shining personality.
You do have a shining personality. I love you. Bye.
Well, that could be taken one of two ways. It's either good or she's got a personality like somebody off the movie The Shining.
It could be either. Sometimes it's both.
Hopefully it's not Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah, she'd be the one that would eat. Honey, I'm home.
Axe through the door to get your attention.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, today was a little bonkers.
Just a little. Oh, you came to say hi, did you? Is that because you're in heat and I give you attention?
What, your wife's not enough for you?
My wife's in heat too, so yeah.
Shit.
Hi. You good, kitty? You like to make fun of the dogs? You're like, hey, you're 170 pounds. You can't go down the stairs. Oh, motherfucker. Pretty sure that's what she does.
She sits there and giggles, haha, you can't follow me.
She does that when she goes up the stairs too, because he's followed her up the stairs once, and then I had to carry him down because he was too scared to come back down.
Who's the cat now?
Fucking 170-pound Saint Bernard at the top of the stairs crying.
Did they not go outside?
Yeah, he goes outside. He has no problem. Remember, it's a 100-year-old house, right? So the stairs to the attic and the
Oh
stairs
yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah.
basement are a little more steep than a regular set.
Yep.
Because there was never a basement and the attic was an attic and only an attic at one point. So they're a little steeper than they should be. And so he can't do them. Like it hurts him when he does them, especially going down. Going up, he's kind of okay. Going down, not so much. And he got to the top of the stairs in the attic, and then he couldn't make it down. Like they're too steep and they're too skinny, and he was scared, and he was just up there crying. And I'm like, you giant motherfucker. And there I am carrying a dog that is close to, like, not. He's 170 pounds. He's close to 200 pounds. Carrying him down the stairs is not a fun chore.
No, because he's gonna move and wiggle.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, at least it isn't the Great Dane I saw on the video going down the stairs on his stomach and his nuts whacking on each step as he went down.
He would do that.
That happens to me too.
The last person I know that went down the steps of any of my stairs on his belly was Glenn. I believe you met Glenn Gee. You may not have. I don't remember. He's one of the arm prior guys. Oh yeah, so you would have met him. He was at the beer festival a few times.
Do you have
But
glasses? No.
Glenn, no glasses for Glenn. But we had a party at my house because we always had parties at my house, and he was going down my stairs on his stomach and like smoking into the door at the bottom and giggling, and he just kept doing it. And my stairs were carpeted. He still to this day, and he's in his 40s now, has like burn marks, like rug burn scars on his arms.
Is he the one that saw your penis?
No, that was Bubba.
Okay.
So just to put this into perspective, there, James.
Do I want to know? Is this something I need to know?
So, well, he just brought up the one that saw your penis. Well, so we're standing. We would always, like, my house would always be empty and people would just be staying there, right?
Yep.
And I was yelling, "I am naked. I'm going for a shower. Everybody stay in your room." And Bubba came out of the room and said, "What did you say?" Oh. Turned around and went back in his room.
Okay, no offense, but most people have pasty white asses. I could not imagine how white yours is.
I don't have a pasty white ass.
Your ass is see-through. Hey, I've got nothing to complain about. I got no ass. My belt falls past, and the only thing that holds it up is my fucking knees.
Me too. Like sometimes I'll just walk inside my house. It's like magic. Like I'll stand still. My pants will just like fall on the floor. My life is like, what the fuck?
I actually do have that problem. For a bigger guy?
Well, for me it's not a problem. I just take my legs out of my pants and just put my shorts on.
I used to have a seatbelt belt, and I called it my slut belt because you'd hit the button and it'd open up and your pants would fall.
I wonder if we're allowed those at work.
Probably not.
Well, they're made out of the same web material. You make it easy to take the belt on and off, and it's easy adjustment that way.
But mine giant target and long they're like stretchy, but the front it's like leather, so it looks like a regular belt, but it's not. It's made for fat people.
Well, I'm only big on the top half.
He's telling the truth. He missed leg day.
Me? No, my legs are fine. It's just no ass. I'm built like a fucking lollipop. I've got muscular legs, but my upper half is for like two people.
Oh, excuse me. I'm meant for 2 people as well, but my wife doesn't agree with that.
Yikes, dude. I'm not sure I'd ever have the balls to ask my wife that. Actually, I don't think it really matters if I ask my wife that. She took the bullets out of the gun years ago anyway.
Oh, I gotta take a shower, man. I got stuff all ground into me.
Yeah, I've got metal filings on me that I don't want.
Yeah, I had some copper ebony all over me today too.
Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah, I heard they sent us the wrong size of glass beads again.
Yep.
I thought ebony was a porn category.
It might be, depending on what you want to watch.
Why am I getting texts from my
What
wife?
don't I want to watch?
Because she's listening through the vents.
No, his wife is used to it by now.
My wife loves me.
Why did she just agree to the 2 people?
No, she did tell me to shut the fuck up, you fucking idiot.
Told you she was listening through the vents.
Basically, it was your dick belongs to me and I'll cut it off.
So in other
Counter,
words, she said, "Keep it to myself."
yeah. Counterpart Thunder IPA, 6.5% alcohol by volume.
Sorry if I make any noise. I'm attempting to make ice while I'm on this with you.
You're attempting to make ice.
Our ice makers like making ice. Paula used it all up, so I'm trying to make some for when she gets home tomorrow morning.
I see that you wrote something malty. I will read it in 1 second. I'm just tapping in the beers that I have had tonight.
It
You know, I
sounds
need to keep track of things.
sounds like you go through a lot of ice.
My wife is an ice addict. Her water, anytime she drinks water, has to be absolutely ice cold. So she'll fill a glass like three
Ah,
quarters with ice and then water.
I've done that. You put some lemon in there.
She's just a purist. She either drinks water or Pepsi, either one of the two, but not together.
Pepsi, or Bepsi?
No, Pepsi, Pepsi. She doesn't understand the Pepsi term at all. I tried to
Really?
explain it to her, and she goes, "What?"
I would have thought growing up here she would have heard Bepsi a lot.
Well, yeah, and she did, but she never knew it was a thing. Not at all. And it wasn't until I explained it to her about 2 years ago, and she went, "What? That's racist." I said, "No, it's not." And then one of our friends went into a gas station halfway between Regina and Waskasoo, and they were in the gas station, and there was a bunny hug with Pepsi on the front of it. So she realized, oh, it must be a thing. Well, yeah.
Yes, Malty. Still daylight out.
Not here though.
What, daylight out here in Saskatchewan? Is
Yeah,
that
he
what
was
you're asking?
asking if it was still daylight in Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah, we got about, what, probably about another half an hour worth of sunlight yet.
At least.
Yeah. Well, I can literally see the sun from where I'm sitting on my couch, and it's like almost a hand width above the houses across the street from me. So
We can see your son seeing you.
trying to catch the reflection. There you go.
It looks intense. It's like you farted out your window and catch on fire or something.
me?
It is intense. You fart out your window, it will catch on fire.
Yeah.
Well, especially in the prairies.
If they're dry, yeah.
There's a rule in the prairies: you're not allowed to fart out your window. Okay.
No, you got to be outside to do it because then you have enough airflow and your ass doesn't catch fire.
Yeah, you don't want it to backdraft.
Yeah, I live in a house trailer. That'd be a dangerous thing.
I'm sure someone done that. Not weed. We put in beer. What is it called again? Ass yeast beer.
Ass yeast beer?
Is that a thing
I'm sure it is.
in prison?
You know, that kind of makes you wonder how the hell do they make hooch in prison at all?
Prison
Doesn't
wine.
that give off a smell?
They do it in a bag in the back of their toilet.
Yeah, it's like a Ziploc bag.
I suppose. But you'd figure after taking how long to ferment.
Doesn't take that long, I think, eh? The prison wine.
Well, it depends on, if how sick you want to get from it.
Yeah, I guess that's the same thing as 1930s bathtub gin.
Well, it's made with like bread and ketchup and anything else you find that has sugar in it. Just in the bag,
Okay.
in the back of your toilet. It tastes horrendous. Like horrendous.
I guess if you need a drink, you need a drink.
So that's one I saw. How to make prison nachos. I think it's basically like squished up Doritos and whatever you can get from.
Have you seen the guy on he has shorts on Facebook and on YouTube, and he's like a food truck, and people just bring him random things, and he puts meat and everything else all over it. Like they'll bring a bag of chips and stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
I've
watch
seen
that.
people bringing like buckets, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I watch that on weekends. Usually, the last one I saw, you brought like $1,000 worth of like caviar or something.
Yeah, I watched the caviar one, and he had to put the
Caviar.
caviar in it.
That one's more expensive. It's truffle. Yeah, truffles.
I don't understand it. Like,
You don't see them pay though. It's just kind of odd.
I think he cuts them paying out, but apparently his prices range from like $20 to $30, depending on what they get on it.
That's fucking expensive. Bring your own Doritos bag. You just put shit on top.
Yeah.
Well, whatever he's putting on it must be fucking tasty. Otherwise, people ain't going to pay for it unless they're looking for a moment of fame.
It's mostly chicken and veggies and secret man sauce.
Yeah, he's Bengali is what I've gathered from watching a bunch of videos. He's not like he has no accent. Well, he is, but he doesn't have an accent or anything. He's from the U.S., but it's like there's some like almost shawarma like chicken, and then it's like almost donair beef, and there's some pork, and
I've only seen the pre-cut chicken in those small bins. I haven't seen the chicken on the rack things.
And then he has like he puts French fries on it, and he has his rice. He likes cilantro. He puts a lot of cilantro on.
Oh, I think I've seen bits of that. Yeah, I think I've seen those videos a little bit. But it doesn't make any sense as to what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and I don't even know why they show up in my feed. I'm like, what the fuck are these here for? Like, why?
Yeah, I saw him doing something with fucking roll up burritos, like fucking flour tortillas, the one time. And he was putting shawarma and shit in them. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, when I went to Turkey, there was shawarma everywhere and donair everywhere. It's literally street food, and it's everywhere.
I've never seen a turkey restaurant, but a Turkish restaurant did open right nearby my work like 3 months ago.
All I'm gonna say there, Malty, is I get that every night.
Where's the all you can eat tacos?
Well, in Saskatchewan, you don't want to eat all you can eat taco time, you'll die.
No, well, I guess it's not taco. It's all you can eat taco.
Oh.
Oh.
Pink taco?
If he was, he wants the hairy taco. Never mind.
It's not hair. You just bite on the hairs and just pull it out. Use a light. Use a lighter.
Ow! Fuck. She'd really
You
appreciate you.
just wet it. Just blow on it. It's fine.
Well, depending on how hairy that is, it could cause like a brush fire effect. You don't want that.
Oh yeah, that's the best way of getting the nutsack cleaned up.
Man, it's that dry down there? It shouldn't be that dry.
It's so that dry.
I guess it depends on how good you are at doing your job.
Here's the thing, right? One of these days, somebody's gonna talk me into like running for office somewhere, and all this shit is gonna come up. And they're gonna try and cancel me, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, I was an idiot. Yeah, who cares? What's the point?
I'm sorry that I'm allowed to, that I'm able to joke about my sex life, and you guys can't joke about anything. I got it.
And you're like, I'm here, but you were there, so what are we gonna do about it?
Well, the only thing you have to worry about is if there's actually videos of it.
Did they sell that brewery you're gonna buy yet?
No, it's still for sale.
How dumb are they? They still gotta pay the rent for that shit.
Yep. Well, they're not paying rent. They own the building, so they're
So
They're
But don't they
fine.
pay land taxes every year?
well, yes, they would pay land taxes every year, but they do have a client. Like half the building has a hair salon in it, and the other half the building is their brewery.
So it's a drug trafficking thing then, for sure.
And the beer is horrible, horrible. I actually have one of their beers in my fridge. It's horrible.
But now they're fully closed right now.
Yeah, they're fully closed right now. Let's see if they've dropped the price, actually. I don't think, after the things I've said to them, I don't think even if I offered them what they want, I don't think they'd sell it to me.
That's why you get somebody that's a shadow company to buy it for you.
Let's see.
The buyer could have a partner that doesn't want to be involved until after.
Somebody's bought it. It's gone. It was still up last week.
Did they buy it minus the recipes?
I don't
That's the
know.
question.
If they buy it as a brewery, they're gonna check everything out.
I'm going to have to do some research now that I know somebody's bought it. That's unfortunate. I was not going to pay them what they wanted for it.
Focus my ass. It takes like 5 years for a brewery to get their stouts in order.
Well, I would say Counterpart is really good at sours, stouts, and pale ales. I mean, I don't like their pale ales much, but they're really good at it. High Key here in Saskatchewan, kind of the same thing. They're very good at sours. They're very good at their dark beers. I like their lagers. I dislike their pale ales, but they're not bad at them. They're just not beers I like. For breweries in Regina itself, like Rebellion is really good with their pale ales. Um, Pile of Bones, also known for their pale ales more than anything. They both do good stouts as well and good sours, but that's more what they seem to be known for. Multinational, again, pale ales, stouts, sours. It's weird. Like there's Regina Brewing, which is my buddy Chris is the brewmaster there. Well, actually, I hear they're changing their name from Regina Brewing to something else. But he started looking at trying to do more pilsners and lagers and things that more people would buy than just your craft beer guys.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing about Regina. Unless you do those things like the craft beer, pale ale, pilsner, etc., the question is if you start doing too many lagers, is the general public going to start comparing you to the lagers that you buy in the can that are the stupid popular ones here? Like, that's the problem. Are you going to end up running into, like, I'm a Canadian fan and I'm never going to change?
Yep, I get what you're saying.
And unfortunately, if I can ever get my hands on it, I'm going to make you drink something you're going to go, oh my God, what the fuck? And the beer is called Calgary. They're terrible, man. They're like Bohemian is one thing, Calgary is another. I don't know if you've ever had Bohemian, but
Yes, I've had Bohemian. Bohemian was a budget beer in Ontario.
okay. Well, Calgary is a budget beer in the western provinces, and it is made in Calgary. It was made in Calgary. I'm not even sure who the brewer was, but it's got a horseshoe and a bison's head on it coming out through
Calgary
the
beer,
horseshoe.
Molson Coors.
Mm.
This here?
Yes, it was absolutely horrible in the 80s, and I don't think it's changed because they don't change their recipes often.
Okay, I have somebody that tapped it in 2017. I wonder if there's been any tap ins more recently.
Like, I'm not being rude about it, but it's not a fantastic beer in any way, shape, or form. And I think if I was gonna buy it and have you try it with me, it'd be like a 6 pack, and four of them would probably rot in a fridge somewhere.
Well, my buddy Matthew G, who used to work for a brewery in Ontario, Stonehammer, and because he worked for breweries, he never rated things, but he did rate this. And when he put it up, he said, "I'm checking in beers I've had before and hope to never have again. This is fucking garbage."
Yeah, Calgary is a terrible beer. Pe-
However, it
People used
it
to make jokes that it was bison piss in a bottle.
it
I
has a
do,
3.8. It has a 3.8 out of 5 on Untapped.
I do miss Lucky Beer. We don't get that
We
here
get lucky
anymore.
here all the time. I can buy lucky by the 2-4
Cause
and extra lucky.
it is my last name in English.
La chance. Lucky. Who are you? I am Lucky.
Yeah, the last name Lachance here. Prairie people don't go Lachance; they go Lachance. Even in Métis communities, they say Lachance, and it's like, where did you learn that?
Radar once called my voicemail. Once I lived way back when. It's like, is Yui Lakahans there? Yui Lakahans?
How drunk was Guy? Was Radar?
Huh?
I said, how drunk was Radar?
US Sober is calling pre-weekend, getting ready for come over for the weekend.
Oh, so he was just being a dick.
Happy Dick.
How's he doing? I haven't talked to him in a while.
Me neither, but I'm probably sure he's still working at Home Depot on the floor.
You'd hope he'd have at least a chair.
We're not allowed chairs.
True.
The customers are. We're not.
I have to sit in a chair all day, but my right hip hurts, so I'll try to walk as much as possible.
Do you have
You're...
your wallet in your pocket when you're sitting?
No, it's just his dick folded over.
Doesn't matter. I have an electronic standing desk.
Ay, ay, ay.
I like to walk really fast.
Really fast? Like really fast?
My laptop's not working. How'd you get here so fast? You sent me a chat. Merry
So I'm
Christmas,
guessing
asshole.
you're an IT professional.
You guessed right.
Professional is stretching it.
Okay, you're an IT amateur with a passion.
Passion fruit.
I prefer dragon fruit myself.
Strangely, dragon fruit sells really well in the Arctic. And you wouldn't think it would. One, because the price is insane, and two, a lot of these people don't know anything other than like a Granny Smith apple, but they're like, ooh, dragon fruit. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not much of a fan of dragon fruit. I've had them, but you fucking watch people try and grow them, and they're like, "What the fuck? Where did I get a cactus from? Where the fuck do you think a dragon fruit comes from? For God's sake, look it up."
Dragon's asshole.
Well, what was it? The first time I had prickly pear,
Yeah,
like a prickly pear beer, I did not expect it to be bright red because I had never like I understood that if it's named prickly pear, it was probably something prickly, but I had never seen one before, so I went and looked it up. And I'm like, oh, it's a giant red piece of fruit on the top of a cactus. Okay, I got this.
yeah, the fucking shit. Those things, I've actually had jam made out of them before. It's really fucking good, but your shit and your piss for 3 days is like fucking almost as bright red as a fucking beet. What's that one?
Turncoat Brewing Company's Copper Rocker.
Hmm.
It's their Copper Rocker, man. It gets more head than I do.
Gives or gets?
Gets. Oh no, nothing gives more. No.
Holy shit.
My wife is spoiled, sir. That's right. When I run to be mayor somewhere, you can tell people that I eat my wife, okay? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that becoming public knowledge. What?
He's the
What?
official muff diver of his wife.
This horrible, despicable man.
That knows how to pleasure a woman. What's your problem?
You poor, unfortunate soul. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
I think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna
I'm
write
a,
I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna write a song for when somebody calls me out for that, and it's gonna be about it's gonna be Ursula's poor unfortunate soul.
okay, now we're drawing a line. Chad singing Disney tunes.
No lines to be drawn. It's complete free for all. How are you doing, Guy?
100%.
I don't think you're 100% Gee.
110%.
How many cans
169.
do you have left?
2. I have
Two?
one in glass, full, and 2 more.
I have one of. I still have the one you sent me. I should pull it out. We should review it together.
Because I'll have. Oops. So much. Oh, hot glue, right?
I
I'll
guess
have
he's
it
got
as
one less
sevens.
can.
Yeah, that's what you sent me. There's one in that cupboard right there beside me.
Cupboard. It sounds like an old lady storytelling time.
Old Mother Hubbard
Yeah, exactly.
kept her dildo in a cupboard.
Kept her dildo charged up in the wall charger. Third speed.
She used it for mixing bread.
Oh, is it one of the articulating ones?
And kept the village
Maybe.
inbred.
Is one of them there new automatic mixers. Can I borrow it? I bet you get good yeast out of that for making
So,
bread.
at one point, I worked at Goulburn Sanitation. And Goulburn Sanitation was a recycling depot outside of Ottawa in Stittsville, Ontario. And I worked there with my, at the time,
It is correctly right at the moment sunset in the middle of the prairie. I can actually see no longer any sun except orange.
ooh, it was a, so I worked there with my then stepfather, my mother's like sixth or seventh husband, I can't remember which, but I worked there with him. And Goulburn Sanitation would have a lot of stuff come through. You know, he would bring CDs home and stuff that would show up in the recycling. But this day proved what happens when a whole bunch of idiotic men work together and are bored out of their minds. Because there was a medical recycling that day,
Oh no.
and it was breast implants. And they may or may not have been used as water balloons
Oh fuck.
the entire rest of the day. You would just have some silicone fucking booby fly at you, and you'd hear this wet splank as it hit somebody.
Ay, ay, ay.
Don't know if they were new, don't know if they were old, don't know anything, but they were used as water balloons for an entire day.
Well, I know a guy who moved into a house and he was digging around, putting everything away, and he couldn't figure out why a box wouldn't go up onto a shelf far enough. And he turned around and reached up on the shelf blindly, got himself a nice big vibrator, one of the articulating types. So he was a little shocked when he pulled his hand back, goes, ah! He dropped it, and his wife started laughing. I'm kind of like,
It was really hers.
oh, no, 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 no. It was really funny because he used to be going on the CB radio all the time, and his name was Kim. So every so often we'd hear me on the radio or the desktop, or like, what the? Just playing with my new toy. But that was his sense of humor. And then when you go over to his house, here, you want to see my toy? No, I don't.
See, the only thing that really stood out for dildos with me, and again, somebody will one time I'll run for like city council or something. This will come up. Is one of my best friends. His name is Jeff. His mom used to have a box of the floppy rubber dildos
I remember that.
in her car, and she had that box to throw at people if they pissed her off while she was driving.
That's an
There'd be
expensive hobby.
there'd be a floppy dick flying at you, like it was awesome. She threw one into a cabbie's car one time. It's like, fucking learn to drive.
Can you imagine that weaving into fucking traffic for no reason in Regina? Ah!
I hope some of them have that suction cup. That'd be even better.
Oh yeah, if it did, and she had a good arm, and it could just like suction cup to their hood while they're driving, just boom.
Oh, look, a unicorn.
Just spit in the cup. Diddly potatoes.
Wouldn't it be fun to walk through a mall parking lot with a box full of those and just randomly stick it on cars and walk away? No explanation, no nothing. Just suddenly your person comes up, there's a giant dildo stuck to their car hood.
I'd find it amusing.
Oh, I'd fucking sit on the corner of the lot and videotape people from a distance to see their reaction.
I'm going for a piss.
See, I can never run for re-election because this would come up. Wait, I've never been in office, but that's okay. I
I
don't think
just
they could get. I don't think they could get mad at you because at least you're being honest.
done a lot of stupid things in my life, boys and girls.
Well, yeah. If you're a politician, how do you prove that you weren't being stupid as a child or as a young adult, or even in our case, as older adults, just talking?
Well, there's a lot of politicians that get in trouble for things they've said years and years and years ago. There's some that get in trouble for things they've said in recent years, like in the last 2 or 3. I think the thing people have to remember is human beings have always had the ability to grow and evolve. And it's whether or not you've grown and evolved past that. Yeah, I've said some horrendous things in my life. I've done some questionable things in my life. I think I'm not the same person I was when I was 16 and dealing with a lot of the shit I was dealing with. But hey, cancel me. I don't care.
I think it's stupid that people have to get on that train. It's you can't forgive somebody for saying something even though they may not have meant it in the way you're taking it, or etc etc. Like Paula just bought and we're waiting on them for them to arrive, but ancestry DNA things, because she goes and says, I know what my heritage is. She goes and says, but I'm really interested in yours. Is that you or Guy?
That's me. One of my 3 phones. Well, 4 phones.
What are you, a fucking dealer?
Well, I have my current phone. I have, because I'm also Irish and cheap, I had my replacement phone, but that current phone hasn't died yet, so why start using the replacement phone if the current phone isn't dead? I have the review camera that I usually use for reviews, which is basically on its last leg. And then I have its replacement.
See, that kind of makes me wonder, because you talked about your ancestry DNA thing and how far you were to the one genetic point. Kind of makes me wonder what's going to pop up in mine, because I don't know. I don't know if I'm more Irish or if I'm more Scottish or if I'm just an asshole in general. Because I don't know. I can do a pretty good Irish accent and I can do a really good Scottish accent. And my mind just seems to snap into the Scottish frame of mind a lot and go, all right, you don't want it to me. I'll take it. I'm not really afraid of you. I'll just be an asshole to you. And people think I'm being funny. That's what bugs me. Have you ever been sarcastic enough that you are purposely meaning it and people are standing there looking at you laughing?
Yes.
That is such a weird feeling. You're like, I'm insulting you and you're laughing. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's when people don't realize how prone to violence I can be and they think I'm joking when I'm like, I will break your motherfucking kneecaps.
Oh, see, no, if you say something like that to me, I have an absolute understanding that my kneecaps could go. That's why I stand at a range. I'm not stupid, but it's at times I'm kind of like, fuck no. I'll say it from over here and see what he does. I'm just afraid one day you're gonna launch something that I can't get out of the way fast enough, and I'll fucking start screaming and rolling on the ground.
I don't think anyone on our day shift has pissed me off that much.
Some of the customers made me a little annoyed today.
I
I
had
don't
a
know how
sergeant
much
major
weight.
who could use the Lord's name both in vain and as a positive in the same sentence, and I could only admire his use of the English language with colorful metaphors.
That's awesome. Praise the Lord, but Jesus, you're stupid.
How are you doing, Douglas? When I go to stand up to go and grab something out of my drawer, I'm going to have to turn the camera off because I have undone my belt and opened my pants, which means they will fall.
Okay.
And I
We
can't
don't want
guarantee
no
whether or not I'm wearing
cock-a-doodle-doo
anything
doing
under them.
here.
It's just
We
up
don't
to
know.
your
We
pants.
don't want nothing to do with the cock-a-doodle-doo.
Examination on Monday. Ooh. What's our examination on Monday? I'm doing an examination on Monday as well, but it's about my life choices.
I examine those daily.
What the
The hell
fuck are
kind
you?
of crunchy chips are those, Gee?
Those are Miss Vicky's.
Oh, okay. You guys are on computer monitors. I'm on an iPhone. So all I can see is a bag with some white and green.
That's how you know.
Well, in Saskatchewan, we've got brands of chips that have got similar colors, but they're not Mrs. Vicky's.
Second year numerical analysis for computer and electrical engineer students. Have fun with that. Have fun with that.
So he's building an exam for those people?
Covered Bridge from New Brunswick is pretty good. I agree. I don't think I've seen Covered Bridge out here, actually.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it. I've actually heard of that.
They were an advance order when I was up in the Arctic, and I brought some up to try, and they were actually pretty good.
Gee, you're fucking making me hungry, man.
I thought I had a noise canceling.
If that's noise canceling, we're sitting next to a beaver gnawing on a tree.
Reduce mic background noise. Oh yeah, it was off.
Bonus, they're not American. It is true. Those chips are not American.
That's why I bought them. Had the label on the shelf.
Tomahawk is another good branded chip. If you've never had Tomahawk chips, they are actually made by a native company, and they're really good chips. Their regular is just like regular. I'm not a big fan of their barbecue. My daughter likes their ketchup. I don't, but their fire chip, that's good. It's not a real spicy chip. It's like your average spicy barbecue, but it's a good chip.
You can get that here?
You should be able to get it here because it's from Winnipeg. But we would bring them up to the Arctic all the time.
See, the only chip I've seen out of Winnipeg is Old Dutch.
I'm not a big fan of Old Dutch. However, I will give them the Hawkins cheesies I have a problem with. I could eat 1,000,000 pounds of Hawkins cheesies.
Those fucking things are crack.
They are, and I've loved them my whole life. Like, and everybody's like, a hard cheesy's a hard cheesy's a hard cheesy. Okay, you say that, but I won't eat Cheetos. I eat fucking Hawkins.
Well, the problem is the salt content for me in Hawkins. After I eat them for a while, I can feel my fucking blood pressure in my head.
You are correct. They are very salty. They are. I shouldn't eat as much as I do.
Well, that's why I do eat Cheetos, is because I don't get that headache and that thumping, pounding feeling for eating half a fucking bag. Unfortunately, where the smallest bag of Hawkins cheesies makes me feel that way. I love them, but they don't love me.
No, and you are correct. They are a more salt than cheese type of flavor. Where Cheetos, unfortunately, this is an American company, but hers Carolina Reaper cheesies are really good.
Never heard of that.
Hers makes a whole bunch of stuff too, though. But like they make a honey cheesy, they make a pizza cheesy, they have a whole plethora of cheesies they make. But the Carolina Reaper cheesy was awesome. Unfortunately, in the current state of things, I wouldn't be able to buy them anymore. But they were good. I'm actually curious what's being sold up in the Arctic right now and what prices are right now, because a lot of stuff came from a certain distributor in Winnipeg that bought a lot of his stuff from the US. And yeah, it wasn't cheap to begin with, and then add tariffs onto it. I'm curious what's it selling for.
We used to have a distributor here in Regina. It was called Nutty Club, and I think it was originally out of Winnipeg. But holy crap, some of the stuff they imported was amazing.
It's true, Douglas. It's true. It's very true. Well, a lot of like the really random weird things you could buy to eat or try or drink, like all the Jones sodas and stuff. It's all American stuff. I mean, it's all fake flavoring and all that, so you're not missing much not buying it. But at the same time, it's always fun to try. Like I used to like once a year buy like a $300 box of pops and chocolates and stuff from all around the world and get it shipped to me. And the family would like do a review every day of something. Does your wife know that you just ate an entire bag of chips?
She didn't know I bought it.
You were so loud, she must know what you were doing. She could hear it from the other room. She's like, that motherfucker, I'm going to stab him tonight.
I only speaks French. Mostly.
He says she only speaks French, but she speaks every language. She just doesn't realize it. She's learned everything to find out what he's doing.
She's even learned C++ just to know what you're programming.
Sorry. G++.
G++. Hey, have you bought a Super Gi recently?
Super C opened near my place not long ago.
Does Beyond the Pale still make the Super Gi?
Super G, not sure. Really not sure. Haven't been there in a while. I wonder if they've been there since I went with you. Probably not.
Oh, when I was in Ottawa last?
Yeah.
And we did the tooth and nail?
Tooth and Nail and the ladies' couch place or something. And we did that place that closed up for the business orgies. We went to the
Yes,
Irish
and
pub.
the one that was downtown, not downtown, but the one that neither of us thought was going to be good, but they had some good beer.
What was an Irish pub? It's like random.
Yeah, it was like, hey, this one's close, let's go do this. I can't even remember it right now, but neither of us thought it was going to be good, and it had some good beer.
I think we had macro beers. I don't remember.
We had macro beers when we went to your brewery that had it was closed down for the orgy,
Yeah,
and then we went to the Irish pub instead.
Irish pub had good beer. Whatever macro shit we drank.
Yep. Then my wife came and got me because she takes care of her dumb Irish husband.
It's funny. I turned around, look at the bar. It's like turn around again. It's like, oh, Chad's gone. Like, okay, bye.
She also scares me, so I do what I'm told.
As long as they make you food, I guess.
She's making me vindaloo for next week. She meal preps for my lunches every week now to make it healthier for me, and this week is vindaloo. I still have something like 6 or 7 dozen homemade samosas in the freezer.
So
I still think Shahid said he liked them just so that she didn't beat him up.
No. The one thing I do know about Shahed is the fact is that he's not the type to lie to make somebody feel better. He is nice to you and will say things to be nice. He won't be rude, but he will tell you if he does or does not like something.
I'm gonna miss him when he's gone.
Yep. I took to calling him Peaches the other day because he was talking about peaches and doing my hand motions like grabbing a peach. And I went, dude, I don't need to know that.
I grabbed Never mind. Never mind. Let's see what's in my fridge.
Sound like Mr. Dress Up. Let's see what's in the tickle trunk.
Oh, got my penis stuck in the train again today.
What
What?
the fuck did you just say?
What?
That's what I'm asking. What the fuck? Something about a penis getting stuck in a trunk
Train.
in a drain.
Train. I'm
How
like,
the fuck
oh,
did?
I got my penis stuck in the train again today. Guys, let's see what's in the fridge today.
I was kind of like, were you riding a subway?
Oh no, you're just slapping that train right in the face. Toronto style.
You have
Hey,
problems,
fetishes
sir.
are fetishes, man.
Why is your headset choking you like BDSM style?
Because I have a big beard, okay?
Stuck in there underneath. Holy shit.
You get stuck in my beard, and then that's what happens, okay?
Okay,
That's why.
Regina problems.
It's not Regina. It's vagina problem. No, it's not a problem, okay?
Dude, if pubic hairs and beard hairs get tangled, it's a mess.
Especially when your beard is white and the pubes are not.
It's like when you jizz and it gets like all dried up. Like how do you know if it's salt or not salt?
What?
What?
The fuck is this?
It's insurance for ball salt. You just pick a random drawer to look through it.
I think you say random shit to make us react.
The worst part is just how my brain works without me knowing. It's called Gee's Thoughts.
Gee's thoughts are always kind of scary.
Scary, but true.
How many fucking bottle openers do you have in that drawer, man?
That's my rings, you hear.
That's all tied to his Prince Albert.
I don't need to fucking know about how many cock rings you have. I wasn't asking that.
They're horizontal cock rings. Attaches vertical cock ring.
Okay, so we're going to talk quietly because she doesn't want me to talk about this, but she actually wanted me to get a cock ring for a while until she realized she couldn't have sex with me for a certain amount of time, and then that changed.
What, like 5 minutes?
It takes more than 5 minutes for that to heal, even a little bit, sir.
Are you talking cock ring or Prince Albert? It's a huge difference.
I think he's talking about a full-blown piercing.
Yes.
Because there's a cock ring, which they sell for like $10 at the pharmacy. Or you're talking like a magnetized cock.
Yes, we're talking, I go through something that has a loose connection and my dick gets zapped.
You get Wi-Fi in the tip.
I don't have to pay SaskTel anymore for the signal booster.
You still get it.
I'm my own Wi-Fi extender.
What are you doing? I'm just jerking off for Tesla.
It could be
Russell,
worse. He could wrap it
pumpkin
in
pie
copper foil.
milkshake.
Wrapping it around your pie.
Could you imagine wrapping something like that in copper foil and walking around? Suddenly people's TV fucking signal would get better.
I think tinfoil used to work on the antennas.
Douglas, if you're still here, keep these two behaving. I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
You're full of shit. You just keep your camera going.
Does
Scoot
he
up
have
to the
any
side.
He's
full of shit.
I'm not full of shit. I took a shit before I left work, motherfucker.
You keep your fucking camera
Oh,
on.
pooping on
Scoot up to the
company
side.
time.
What are you doing? Like scratching your balls in front of your computer when you get up or what? That doesn't make
Actually, I am scratching my balls currently. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe you can hear it. But
that's not enough bass to it. You need the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah, he's afraid that his pubes will get caught in the microphone wires.
Our friend Nick is able to piss in the background. We can hear him piss, but for some reason, Chad, it's like, no. I can hear it now. Like your camera, that makes a difference.
I see why you guys get along and all your group got along so much.
I started watching his group, and it's like, oh, can I come over and we'll do a beer fest? It's like, okay.
I think if you ever did a beer fest, I'd definitely have to take the weekend off just to fucking recover.
I had to volunteer, but
flush test, guys.
volunteering took too much out of me.
Motherfucker.
What do you have a belt for? It's not even wearing pants.
It's sort of like a dog tag. You can hear him coming with his belt jingling.
It's like a butt plug with a dog tag attached to the end of it.
Fuck.
Oh, here's
Oh, let's put these
all right,
headsets back
Ranky.
on. Oh, excuse me.
So you're calling Chad Scooby Doo? Got it.
Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo, where are you?
We figure your butt plug has got a dog tag. That's what we were hearing jingling.
No, that's my keys.
Well, don't hang them on that, man. You just took a piss.
Because I have the two sets, right? I have this set, and I have this set. And they both jingle.
Oh, by the way, we have Senator's keychains.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. They're hockey gloves.
I'll have to go and look. Okay,
I
so
saw that. I saw that,
here
and I
is the
went,
big question. Velma or Daphne?
"Are you kidding me?" Velma, Daphne's been rammed through so many times, it's ridiculous.
Guy, Velma, or Daphne?
Sammy picks.
You've never watched Scooby Doo?
Oh, okay.
What do you prefer, thick or thin?
The one that the glasses get you like, and then you just come out glasses after.
To anyone that's still watching, Velma or Daphne? And the weird thing is, so I think the three of us are in unison then with Velma.
Not so much more to work with, man.
Oh, and Douglas is Velma too. And I'm always amazed that I say Velma, not because but I actually have an infatuation with redheads, and Daphne does nothing for me. Velma is the one that would always make me go, "Oh yeah," and I think that's why.
I think Velma, being as educated as she is and not as much of an airhead, would definitely be open to more shit.
Well, and Douglas said she's the smart one, and I think that might be the attraction. Is she was the smart one.
Yeah, because, well, Daphne was like a ditz. She was with Fred, so what the fuck are her standards, really?
Her standards was an ascot.
Yeah, so how big is his ascot compared to what he actually has?
I think Shaggy was always my favorite character in that show. Nobody respected Shaggy. Only Scooby. It was Shaggy and Scooby all the time.
Yeah, well, Shaggy was kind of on the level of Scooby anyway. I think he got the jokes about as much.
Douglas used to wear an ascot.
That's none of my business.
He is trying to make it okay because he's saying it was regimental.
I suppose if you're forced to wear it. The question is if you really want to wear it and you actually try.
I wear a kilt.
That's true. I'm not into wearing hot pants, but I'm quite sure people would want to see it, and I'm not interested in wearing short pants. Yuck.
I got asked by a certain floor worker if I was wearing anything underneath said kilt.
Oi.
And I said, well, do you know the history on wearing said kilts? And she said no. And I said, well, then you will never know if I'm wearing anything underneath this or not. She goes, what if you go up a ladder? I go, well, I just won't. I get paid the money where I can say you can go up the ladder.
That's where you look at them and you go and say, are you allied?
The look she gave me though when I was like, "Yeah, I'll tell you to go up the ladder." You can't do that. I go, "Oh, we're forgetting what positions we both have." Oh, not that I'm ever actually like that, but you know.
No, that's no. I don't know.
Hello,
We all joke around a lot at work, so that's a good thing.
are you going to poop? Because you
Ooh.
came downstairs in a rush.
Open and sink.
No, Guy, I didn't say poop in a sink.
She's not a cat. She's not about to shit in the sink or in the litter box.
Came to get the book that my book club is reading so I can read it.
Oh, you're getting the book that your book club is reading so that you can read it.
Taking the stripe of the book.
Do I get a kiss?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you love me?
Chocolate.
Love you. Oh, you're wearing your house flip flops. Okay.
Yeah.
Just surprised you don't have your house Crocs on. That's all.
I don't have house Crocs.
House high heels.
These are Crocs. They're Croc flip flops.
So you paid more money for flip flops than you need
Yes,
to pay.
because they're the only types of flip flops I can wear because otherwise my plantar fasciitis comes up and then I can't walk.
They're called croc flops.
They're called Croc flops. Love you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you in trouble. I
Love
just
you
said a
too,
word.
Chad.
I know you do, Guy. I know.
$5.
I appreciate that, Guy.
I'm not sure if it's a level of love right now or not, but I think you're kind of cute.
Too much glue in these fucking cans.
There's too much what in these fucking cans?
Fluid.
Hot glue.
Hot glue. Last place I saw hot glue was in a bucket.
That's semen.
Somebody did worry that it was semen in said bucket, but there was no color to it, so I mean, it couldn't. So I'm going to post a vlog tomorrow. That was my last week, and in the immortal ideas of my one of my favorite people to watch, Oliver, the drain addict, I did a toilet paper flush test. I was cleaning out my backflow valve, so I had to do a
Okay.
flush test to make sure the toilet paper came through.
And
It's
then,
really bad when video and audio stop and you get that little momentary circle thing because you were talking about bat and I heard valve. I was cleaning out my bat valve.
My back valve. My backflow valve. My sewage backflow valve.
Personal or household?
Household. As much as I'd like to have a backflow valve on my anus, there is not one.
You put your thumb over it and you can whistle. Sorry. Is it just me or do I say some really weird shit?
Hi, have you met Guy?
Yes, I have. Not in person, but at least on here. But
when did James ever say anything weird?
what the hell?
I've never played Rust.
We do have a rusty trombone.
No, I'm not a rusty. What the fuck are you? I know the game Rust because I've watched. There's some YouTubers that do like a let's play, and they do like, hey, let's fuck with somebody's base in Rust. But I've never played Rust. I don't know.
I think I've only watched the Rust admins, the ones that can do whatever they want. and troll all the people that take advantage of, you know, noobs or something.
Gee, how are you feeling?
69.
69.
My ears hurt.
You're...
When you have glasses, like you have headphones over your glasses, it hurts after a while.
That's true. I get that.
Well, that would suck, you know, losing 2 weeks of work because you went to sleep. I don't know. I you know, I don't want to admit it, but I have an Xbox, and basically what I play on it is the games I played back in the 80s and 90s. Like I have it for that. Like it's not.
Didn't have Xbox in the 80s.
No, they didn't. But you can download like Final Fantasy and shit like that onto it, right? Like I'm right now. The game I'm playing is Dragon Warrior 3.
Well, it's no different than if you buy a Switch or something. Majority of the time, you're going to download like Ocarina of Time or whatever it is from the earlier systems.
No, I stopped at the Zelda 2D. Never played any of the Zelda's 3D games ever.
I tried playing one of the Zelda 3Ds, the one of the first ones. It was Ocarina. It was Ocarina of Time, and I think I got to the spider boss in the tree, like the first boss you have to fight. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I stopped playing it.
It's not the same game at all.
No, like Link to the Past. Fucking right. I loved Link to the Past, but no.
It'd be too expensive. I love the N64 Bazooka game. That was really fun.
My favorite N64 game was always 007 GoldenEye. It was always GoldenEye, but we had a rule you could never play as Odd Job.
For some reason, mine was Tetrisphere 64.
I hate to admit it, but mine was Rogue Squadron Star Wars for the N64. Because once you got good enough and you could figure out how to unlock the TIE Fighter, oh, was that fun.
You know, I remember playing Star Trek Bridge Simulator, and I was I was able to like 100% every mission. And then in the fighting simulator, I was able to take out like the Romulan Phoenix with an Oberth class. And my buddy was sitting there going, "You're an idiot. How did you do this?" I go, "I don't know. I've spent way too much time playing this stupid fucking game." Because the Oberth was basically a shuttlecraft, so how did you beat like a Romulan warship with one? I'm just that good, motherfucker. Do either of you ever watch Dark Side of the Ring?
No. What's it on?
It's on well, you can buy it on YouTube, but it's on Crave is what it streams on. But it's wrestling stories, like the dark side of wrestling, like you do Owen Hart and Chris Benoit and all that type of stuff. But this last week was Big Van Vader, and it was interesting to watch it. I watch it because it's all wrestling from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, right? Like
the golden ages.
Yeah, like what most people that could say they were wrestling fans at one point in their life would watch. Like I haven't watched wrestling in so long. It's not funny. But the sad thing is, sometimes I'll like go and watch a video that came out recently, and I still recognize people because some of the same people are still fucking wrestling into their 60s, and you're like, really, really?
Yeah, like when did Brock Lesnar stop, or has
He
he?
no, he hasn't. He's still a part timer, but he still comes out every once in a while. Well, actually, I don't think he's come out since Vince McMahon got kicked out of the WWE for his sexual stuff, because Brock was one of the people that was part of the innuendo of who was part of it all.
Hmm. I stopped watching it before that happened, so I only knew him as a wrestler. So
See, I knew Brock as a wrestler as well, but a different type of wrestler.
that's none of my business.
I wrestled Brock. He beat the fuck out of me, but I wrestled Brock.
He's not a small man. He was a football player, was he not?
He was, but we wrestled at the Texas Invitational in like 2002 or 3. And he was a senior and I was a freshman at Brock University, but Brock University was competing there. And yeah, he beat the fuck out of me.
Well, I don't know if that's a congratulations or I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm just trying to prep my supper.
Lesnar's kids go to school right by me.
Here in Regina?
I know Lesnar himself lives in Saskatchewan, and I know that he's married to Deborah McMichael. But well, was it McMichael? Yeah, it was McMichael, wasn't it? It's Deborah. Who the no? She was married to Marrow. Sable, sorry, Sable. She's married to Sable. Why am I thinking Deborah? Deborah was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, he married Sable, but and I know one of his kids, his eldest daughter from his first marriage, looks exactly like him. Like Scary looks exactly like him.
That's a scary thought that you would look like your dad and you're a girl.
They're in Notre Dame, Wilcox,
Oh,
40
we're across
kilometers south.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, what was her name? Like, here you go, James. Let me present myself. What am I doing? Why did it try to do that?
I don't know.
There you go.
Cliff, what the fuck's that? Where am I looking?
That's Brock and his daughter.
Are you sure?
Holy moly. Holy moly.
Like, I have never seen, like, people, what the fuck have I just done? People joke about the fact that my daughter, like my middle daughter, I should say, because my eldest daughter is my adopted daughter with Alicia. But my middle daughter looks like me, but she doesn't look like me. Like, she looks like her dad. Like, I have never seen. He must have super strong genetics, because that look is wow.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's overridden what should be there.
don't bang your cousin.
He didn't bang. You go tell Lesnar he banged his cousin. I dare you.
I don't have to tell me. He knows that already.
He's a Minnesotan that lives in Saskatchewan. He went from the U.S. to like the province the closest to the U.S. other than maybe Alberta.
That's a great cover.
Where did I put my pot?
Oh man.
It's like, give me a little bit of that soda. Okay. Now, we
Well,
can't call you my sister. We can't call you my cousin up in Alberta. Choo choo.
uh,
I feel better now. I lied. I don't. I need to finish this one because I started this one. But I fucking hate this stuff. It tastes like pine needles. Who wants to smoke pine needles? I don't want to smoke pine needles.
Fucking looks like rust water.
is that a vape or is it just?
Yes, it is a vape.
It's just some bird moose.
A high THC vape.
I'm old school. If I'm gonna do something like that, it's gonna be rolled,
The
and I
only
haven't
reason,
done that in 2, 3, 4 years. So
well, if I want to sleep, I have to do it. Like, I have all the stuff to do it as rolled. Like, I have several ounces of stuff to roll. But my wife doesn't let me smoke in the house, but she lets me vape in the house. So if I'm lazy and I don't want to go outside, that's what this is for.
my wife's so sensitive to stuff. I couldn't do that. Like even if I'm doing my wood burning, my artwork, and she's in the house, she wheezes for a day or more afterwards because of her asthma. So
Oh, remember what we were talking about at work today? Because you talked about your artwork. So I've solved my table leg problem.
okay,
Because they had the people that owned the house, well, the people that rented the house before we bought the house from the owners that had the house, they left some furniture here, and one of the things they left outside was like a smoking ashtray table. So perfect height, right? And it's a pedestal, of course,
yeah.
and the top of the table was obviously actually meant for indoors because they've just left it outdoors. But after this is our second winter here now, but water got into it and it started raising because it's that press board shit. So right now the table's upside down, so I can go out later and just take the pedestal off, and then I'll put the pedestal on the keg head.
Well, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm
Save
like,
you some
well,
work.
the tabletop is garbage, so I might as well just toss it.
So is the pedestal and foot metal?
Yeah, it's the whole thing is metal other than the tabletop.
Well, that solves your problem right there. I thought you meant like when you originally said that, I was thinking 1950s smoking table, which would have been a wooden pedestal, wooden feet, wooden top.
Um, PD, Saskatchewan's treated me good. I mean, I'm contemplating, and I don't know. You would have at least seen some videos about the Albino Rhino Beer Festival. I've seen the price that the people that throw beer festivals here charge the consumer, and I'm actually contemplating learning the liquor laws and throwing my own festival. My wife actually suggested it to me last night too, and I'm like, I've actually been contemplating it because Connexus had a beer festival here, and it was like $35 to get in, and you got nothing. You had to buy all your own drink tokens and all that. And then right now, the Taste of Spring is coming up, and the Taste of Spring is $40 to get in, and you buy all your own shit. And I'm like, holy fuck, we're raping people here. Like,
Yeah. This fucking province, the problem is growing up here, living here. The only place you get anything is like an open house, and I don't even know if it still exists. Is a spring home and garden show in Regina. You can go in there and they'll give you samples of this, that, and the other thing. But Taste of Spring, you're lucky if you get like shots this big of wine to see what the fuck it's like.
Well, I sent them a message last year, like last year's Taste of Spring, and I'm like, how much does it cost? What do you get with? And they told me what you got with your ticket, which was entry. And then they're like, you get your glass, and then you pay this much a sample. And I'm like, they're like, are we going to see you there? And I'm like, no. They're like, what do you mean no? I go, I came from Ontario, and I ran beer festivals, and I would go to a lot of beer festivals as well because people would want my beer review to do things at those beer festivals. And you are overcharging by about 50% and can go fuck yourselves. And I mean, I'm sure things have changed to the point where I would have to charge a little more. But I think the difference between what I do and what they do is I'm not trying to make a profit, and I always have donated profits to charity instead of keeping them. And they're trying to make it into a business. And but at the same time, the thing that always got me on this, looking at the prices we're charging here, is the Toronto Festival of Beer is nothing but a profit generating source, and they don't charge as much as we're charging here. Like it's kind of sickening to see what we charge our people here.
Yeah, I I'm in absolute full agreement. There is in Saskatchewan, there's not a lot of free trial of anything. It's like everybody holds their purse so close to their chest, it's ridiculous.
Well, for me to pay the breweries what they would need to make a little bit of profit, I would charge. I was charging like $2 a token, and most beers would be $2, and you would get 5 ounces. So for $6, you were basically getting real close to a pint, right? $8 was a pint at a bar in Ontario at the time. $8 to $10 was your normal pint price. So you were actually getting a better savings. To get into most beer festivals in Ontario was $30 to $60. Mine was 15 in advance, 20 at the door, because at the door you're playing the guessing game of how many people are showing up, right?
Yeah.
So, and when you came in, you would get 3 drink tokens, and then your drink tokens, like I said, were $2 each, or if you bought more, it got you more money. And then of those drink tokens, I would pay back the breweries every cent that I made in drink tokens, right? So if a brewery came up with 100 drink tokens, they got paid $200. The Toronto Festival of Beer, for instance, would charge you $1,000 to be there. A beer festival the same size as my beer festival would normally charge you $500 to be there. I was charging you $50 if you wanted one of the inside tables, $100 if you wanted the outside, because I was trying to put on an event for people to bring money into the community, but also any money I made just went to the Ronald McDonald House anyway, so I wasn't trying to rake people over the coals. I just wanted them to have a fun thing to do. And it again with what, and I think it's partially also where they're choosing to do it, right? Like, let's do this at the Connexa Center. Well, how much does the Connexa Center cost? Could you make a deal with the Real District since they're not doing anything with any of their properties? Could you do this? Could you do that? Like there's so many things that they could have tried, and I'm amazed at what they charge and what you get here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still on or not, but we used to have almost a beer festival. I don't know if it is actually one, but it was a thing called Beer, Bacon, and Bands.
Okay.
And they used to have multiple bands from Regina and area
I'll go for
come in
this.
and do a whole bunch of different sets of stuff, and they sold beer. I don't know if it was on tap or if it was just like sponsored by Molson type thing. I have no idea. And you could buy little tiny buckets of thick sliced bacon to try. So I don't even know if that's still in existence or not, but it
Now,
was
see,
2 years ago.
we didn't do bands at my festival, but we didn't do them for 2 reasons. I tried to make a festival for the beer lover, And one of the things I would hear from a lot of people that would go to festivals is, the band's playing, it's too fucking loud, or this and that, or it's bringing in people that don't care about the beer, they only care about. So I'm like, you know what? First and foremost, we can get rid of the bands, but also because I fully believe in paying a band a working wage as well, right? Like a lot of these festivals will be like, come play, it's exposure. No, if you're coming to play, I should be paying you. And my festival was for charity, so I was trying to make it as cheap as possible for everybody involved.
Yeah.
But those were the two reasons I didn't bring the bands. But yeah, I get it. Bands can be a lot of fun, and we actually had a bacon truck that would come, and everything had bacon in it somehow, and it was marvelous.
I had something somebody created the one time. It was a bacon mac and cheese. Fuck, was that good? I wish I could figure out how they did it, but it was, I don't know, man. It was like honey maple smoked bacon with a little bit of a bite to it, mixed in mac and cheese, and it was like they threw it in a smoker for like 4 days and threw incredible cheese on top of it, and like,
Again, Douglas, that really touches the heartstrings there. Douglas says the festivals were great. I still remember every one I went to, and yep, you had multiple great food trucks. Thank you. What was your favorite food truck? Can you remember it? Can you remember your favorite food truck that was like?
that'd be something that you could do if you started a festival here. We have food trucks here. If you go down to Wascana, or not Wascana Park, if you go down to Victoria Park during summer, during the farmers markets, there are tons of food trucks there.
So one of the things we did, right, the way we did our vendors, again, my beer vendors, you paid $100 if you wanted outside, because if you were outside, you were making the most money. If you wanted inside, it was $50. You'd make less money. You probably didn't lose anything, but you weren't as busy. Food trucks and any added value vendor, so a vendor that was not there necessarily for the beer,
Yeah.
would be $25 plus $50 worth of merch or food. So like the food trucks would pay me $25 to be there, and they'd give me $50 worth of food, and that's what I used to feed my workers, because my workers were all volunteers. What did you get as a volunteer? You got a shirt. You probably got some free beer from somebody. I mean, it's frowned on, but I can't stop it. And you got fed for the day, and you helped out a charity. So it was always thinking that way, right? And the food vendors loved it too, because what would happen is, I would come up and I'd have like 7 food trucks, and the first time I hit 2 of them, give me your $50 of food, and I'd spread it out between everybody. And the next time you'd hit the other 2, spread it out, and then you'd hit the last one and spread that out.
If you want, we can sit around and brainstorm if you need any answers as to what might be around here or what I know. I could turn around and get in touch with people and start asking questions because, well, born and raised here, I may be able to answer some questions or help you along. And if I don't know, I know there's a few people that would actually be able to do that.
The poutine was memorable. The one from well, a lot of them did poutine, but the Great Canadian Food Truck, I believe it was called, was the one that did a lot of poutine. Deep South did a poutine. Jacinda, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing? Jacinda, James, Jacinda, you've seen the Drunken Frenchman before?
What?
Yeah, what?
Kiska, what?
Yeah, qu'est-ce que le fuck?
Just now, Metsubesa.
I have I can possibly have one more beer. Should I do it? Should I have another beer?
How's your return?
Well, you drank that. You drank that before we could review it.
Uh-oh.
I'm doing all right. Saskatchewan is treating me all right. James is from Saskatchewan, here near me.
Born in the town that rhymes with fun.
I love that slogan.
I didn't say the town was fun. It just rhymes with
Someone.
And Guy's drunk.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
You're the one that's cock coughing.
I'm what?
Cock coughing.
Coughing?
choking on dick.
A pro doesn't choke.
No, you see those people online, they shove the hot dog all the way down, dude.
So what's new and exciting, Jacinda? That's the question I ask my daughter every time we talk. What's new and exciting? Nothing. Really, we haven't talked in like 3 days and nothing's new and exciting? Nothing. Oh, I'm in a play. That's not exciting? No. Well, how about motherfucking new? Good night, Douglas. Enjoy yourself.
Diddly do potatoes.
Diddly dee potatoes. Yeah, I got 15 minutes before I have to go join the wife to watch, I think, 90 Day Fiancé.
That sounds good to me.
Watching 90 Day Fiancé?
No, fucking off at 15.
Well, it's late for you.
It's latte.
Drinking Price Igor. I know you're saying Prince Igor. Why? Why are you drinking Prince Igor? Why? Why are you going Zabrowka? Drink some Zabrowka. Very good. Very good Polish vodka.
Zabroska.
Oh,
Zabrowka.
I had Polish vodka that was brought back from
Crystal
fucking
Head.
Poland. That shit tasted like fucking airplane fuel.
I mean, at least you're not drinking iceberg vodka. I'll give you that. You're not drinking iceberg.
Alberta Premium.
Alberta Premium? Yeah, well, it's Canadian. So's Crystal Skull.
Yeah, but it's made from Ghostbusters cum.
It's not made by Ghostbusters cum.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Are
it's made
you
by...
okay? Are you sure you're
You know,
sober?
you might think it's because he's drunk, but even if he was 100% sober, this would be something he would say to you.
I would say this sober you at work. And like, what's wrong with you? I don't know.
I told you, he says things just to see what we're gonna say.
Well, no, I know you drink Prince Igor because it's Canadian and
As
about
long
the
as
tariffs, but there's so much better Canadian vodka to
if
choose
be
from.
so easy, James is like at work. I know this guy James is like he would just say that. How you react? I'm like good. Fish yellow.
I mean, it's true. You know, your choices in Canadian vodka are like bottom rung prices or like super premium prices. So I get it. Just Prince Igor. I
I
wash
say,
engine parts with that.
I don't know. If you're thirsty and Everclear is Everclear, man.
I think that actually, you know what, Jacinda, I know that my joke's my joke. Again, I've always said if you like it, you like it. But I think it's just that it's vodka. I can't touch vodka. I haven't touched vodka since I was 17 years old. Other than the few vodkas that we reviewed on the channel, and every one of those, in the end, made me want to puke because vodka makes me want to puke because I got alcohol poisoning at 17 on vodka, and it was bad. I was bet $100 I couldn't drink 326ers of Smirnoff. I drank the 326ers of Smirnoff. It didn't turn out well, but I made my $100. And in the wages from McDonald's I missed, I probably made about $10.
What was it, Alberta Premium? My buddy and I, housewarming party. We had those fucking super big gulp mugs that you were like 1.3 liters. And he was pouring straight from the bottle. Oh, I'll fill up your cup. Don't fucking fill it like that. He was just chugging out of the 66 we had. Yeah, well, it ended up, we lived in a side by side duplex. It was synchronized puking, one in each corner of the yard. One of us would go, "Ugh," the other one would go, "Ugh."
You okay over there, Guy?
It sounds like a turbo. What?
Except
It's not
synchronized.
like my vomit alert videos where it sounds like a motor going off.
Now we
Oh, no.
actually sounded like a fucking like expensive boats, but the way James is talking is like VTEC just kicked, you know.
Well, the one guy would hear the gag reflex of the other guy and start to go. And I don't know what the fuck my friend had done, but we had had a barbecue that night. I don't know, he didn't fucking chew or what, but he barfed up a whole patty with one bite out of it. I was like, how fucking drunk are you? Wait.
Sorry, I'm talking to Jacinda in the comments there. Well, what happened here?
It's all about you and me, Gee.
Jacinda.
What happened there? What
I
happened to
think
my wall?
I don't know. Somebody like put a fucking shower curtain in your wall.
Why is the paint peeling like it's wet behind it?
Because
Uh-oh.
just stop pissing on the wall.
No, the wall's dry though, James. I thought the as well, but the drywall's dry.
Has it had a leak before, maybe, or could it be from frost?
Well, this wall's nowhere near the outside. This is going into my closet. My closet being the one bedroom that's down here. But could they have had a leak before and it's just showing damage now? Sure. But there's not been a leak since I've lived here.
That sucks if that's the case, man. Because what damage has been done?
Who's doing acid?
Are you trying to tell him he shouldn't be looking into holes too deeply?
Jacinda's talking about acid. Who's doing acid?
Who's doing acid?
Not me. Gave that shit up decades ago.
Oh, did acid cause the problem?
Oh.
I gave up acid decades ago. What the fuck?
Well, you asked. I grew up in the fucking 80s. That's a relevant question.
I guess technically I grew up in the 90s, because I was only 8 years old at the end of the 80s.
Yeah, well, fuck. Acid was a normal thing back then. Trust me. What happened to you? I fell into a party.
Actually, yeah, I hear my grandmother was a big acid head. It explains a lot about my entire family.
Well, in the 80s, it was either you were stupid enough to try PCP and shit like that, or you did the normal shit like shrooms, acid, and pot.
I still have my PV rewards card on my wall. It's going to stay there. It's a collector's item now.
TD reward. I don't even know if that was ever released in Saskatchewan as a thing.
No. PV.
Oh, PV. I thought you said TD as in Toronto Dominion.
No, PV rewards.
You may be able to sell it eventually to a collector. Trust me, when Saskatchewan Wheat Pool went under and it got renamed, people were clamoring for anything with a Wheat Pool logo on it.
Wheat pool, eh?
Saskatchewan. It turned into Viterra.
Okay. Next restaurant I visit will be the next hit for the Albino Rhino Jewelry Club.
You have a whole drawer full of bling.
Yes, I remember beer stubbies. What was Red Cap? Red Cap or Mickey's. Mickey's was the American. Red Cap was Canadian. But you could get Red Cap stubbies in Ontario, made by Brick Brewing. But Mickey's were always great. The hand grenades, because you get the hand grenade, you'd pull it off. The goal was how fast can you grenade it back. Mine was like 1.2 seconds was my best. Just boom, fucking grenade was gone. But there was always a riddle under the cap to check how drunk you were. If you can't figure out the answer to the riddle, you should stop drinking. Was the basic rule in my backyard.
How good was it?
It was good, Guy. It was good.
Okay.
Can you not get Mickey still? You're right across the border from Ottawa.
Oh, I'm sure I can. If the beer store, well, did the beer store fully close by this time?
Some beer stores have closed.
Yeah, because they would always get Mickey's.
I'm not proud of some of the stupid drunken things I did.
Are we ever?
You know, one of the things I never did was ask my idiot wife out.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is, did you do that sober or drunk?
Oh, touch the vagina of my ex. That's the worst thing ever. The beer store, Ottawa.
We must have been on very opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, the worst thing you ever did was touch the vagina of your ex. The worst thing I did drunk was, first off, like I said, not ask my stupid wife out. But two, was marry my ex-wife. Yeah, technically, I guess I could have annulled that because I was drunk.
See, now you think it's escape plan.
Therapy session.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I shouldn't laugh. I put myself in my own boat sober.
I put my faith in her cousins because I told both her cousins that I had the hugest hots for her, and they were supposed to tell her. They lived in a duplex. Her family on one side, her cousins on the other. And I was like, tell your cousin this. And one of them didn't tell her because, he didn't want to. And the other one didn't tell her because she wanted me.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but the one that didn't tell her because I just didn't care to, I proposed to her the day after his wedding, and he's like, man, you should have just did it. I go, man, Mitch, I would have been married to your cousin for the entire time I've been around, but I couldn't trust you. You couldn't tell one message. You couldn't send one message for me. And my wife always tells me, you're a fucking idiot. You have balls. You could have just came and talked to me.
Yeah, but you didn't know that. Had you known that, you wouldn't have waited as long as you did.
The worst thing Jacinda did was high-five a bum and got warts.
Ugh.
Like, when you say bum, do you mean somebody that was living on the street or a bum? Like, did you high-five a bum? Or did you high-five a bum? Because I've done both in my life, and, I'm kind of just curious which one we're speaking of.
Oh, the comments that are running through my head, I not dare say. I do value my friendship with you, Chad. Otherwise, I'd be an asshole and cause a
I've
lot of
never
problems.
spanked the bum of my ex-wife because I would get warts if I spanked that bum. That's why I didn't do it. I just shouldn't say
Well,
things like
everybody
that.
tells you don't play with toads; you'll get warts.
Don't
On the
play with
streets, Toronto
toys.
downtown, that still doesn't tell me if it's a bum or a bum. On the streets in downtown Toronto, it could still be either. I mean,
Corner
let's
of
be
Young
real here.
on one of the corners on Young.
Yeah, that's like saying it was downtown Regina.
Oh,
What?
no, it's definitely a bum if you're downtown Regina.
A bum or a bum?
Both.
Oh,
That's what I'm.
The bum dropped his pants and high fived you with his ass.
oh my god. Whoa.
Ugh.
I'm surprised you got on here as soon as you did after work. I
Well,
didn't expect you to be home that quick.
I didn't either. You were very drunk. Again, the last time I was very drunk. I ended up married. It was planned beforehand. It wasn't like it was a surprise, like, oh shit, I didn't know this was gonna happen. But it was one of those, I don't know if I want to do this. Hey, guess what? You're married. Oh, okay.
The surprise was you woke up to a bad dream the next day.
And woke up from it 14 years afterwards. I don't even remember a lot of those 14 years. I have to go back and watch video on YouTube to remember some of those 14 years.
See, I'm glad I was poor enough and I didn't have fucking technology like that with my ex. I think I would have fucking committed suicide after I had to watch that shit again.
And that's the way she goes. So I have to go to bed.
Alrighty, Guy.
I'll talk to
I
motherfuckers
was
later.
kind of curious how long you would last.
Have a good night, sir.
Take out your ass later, motherfuckers.
Did he say tickle your ass later?
I think so.
Okay. That Guy, everybody. Drinking in Canada, so everybody can have a little dick. That's his YouTube channel, Drinking in Canada. It used to be Beer Guy Reviews, but when he can give a little dick to everyone, he can have more content. The fuck is that? Oh, I know what that is. That's going to, I guess. I don't know. Do I have anything left in the bucket? What do I have in the bucket? What are you? You know what I'm drinking. Okay.
So when are you expected upstairs to be an added audience member?
Soon. Did I ever live in Cambridge? No. I was in Ottawa. I was in Arnprior, Renfrew, Braeside, St. Catharines, Thorold, Welland, Niagara Falls. Then all over the Arctic, Pavernatook, Deer Lake, Umiak, a plethora of other places. But what do you consider living there? Being a lot of places, I was there for a couple days to a week or 2 weeks. And now Regina, Saskatchewan. I also spent 2 months in Winnipeg, and that was an interesting 2 months in the stabbing capital of Canada.
I don't know if I'd want to live there. I grew up in Regina and it was bad enough. Like when I was a teenager, between Winnipeg and Regina, Murder capital would change year to year.
Well, I'd leave. I can't even make that joke because one, that's not me, and two, it wouldn't be true. I was gonna say I left a blazing trail of broken hearts, but no. Look at me. I would be leaving no blazing trail of shit. Well, maybe of shit, but
My case wouldn't be broken hearts either. It would be dirty litter boxes or something. Fuck.
did you have shit in a litter box too?
No. Do you think at my age and my body style that I could squat over a litter box?
Well, at one point, maybe. I used to shit in litter boxes all the time, and I took a shit in a guy's. Well, not all the time. Okay, let me rephrase that. There was a few times I've taken a shit in a litter box, but one time I told my buddy his cat was really sick, and he looked at me and he said, "That fucking cat's been dead for a week, motherfucker." And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Zombie cat came back just to take a dump.
Well, that was the joke, right? I wouldn't make them clean it afterwards, but the joke was, "Holy fuck, what happened to your cat?" And yeah, one of them backfired on me.
The litter box or you?
The joke, because his
Oh.
cat was dead.
I misunderstood the comment. Sorry.
I would really hope though. No, sometimes though it was really hard. You'd have to get like your foot up on something to get over the litter box because you're not gonna pick it up and carry it there or anything, or shit in a bag and move it. You're just gonna shit in the litter box. That's the way to do it.
And then cover it just gently with. When did
I
my
always
fucking
expected-
cat eat chili?
The worst part was I'd get invited back to these houses, and I always expected to walk in and have the cat like alien hug my face, like get away from my litter box, motherfucker. But never happened again.
I never, ever, ever shit in somebody's cat litter box. Never. I think that's funny, but I would never do it.
I get it, James. You're better than me. I get it.
No. I just never thought of doing something like that.
Well, who thinks about it, right? What was I on that night? And here's the thing. Until I was 36, I didn't even touch this stuff. Like, it wasn't until my doctor suggested I try it that I even looked at it. So, what the fuck was I on?
Life. You had to do something to make yourself laugh or to live. I've been there.
I can accept that as the answer to what I was doing. Like, I don't know. It's a weird
existence, dude. It's called existence. And when you're fucked up, you exist in whatever form you can.
Okay, I'm just double checking what my latest I'm allowed to be down here without her killing me is.
If you gotta go, go.
No, I don't. I'm not going to get up until I have to pee regardless, but...
Well, don't use the litter box. I think she might get a little annoyed with all that clump that's in that cat litter.
Yeah, especially since I'm not the one that cleans the cat. That was the rule with the cat. I'm like, hey, I'm not fucking ever cleaning a cat litter box. Why? Because I didn't want cats to begin with, and my ex-wife used to make me do it all. And I'm like, I have no feelings for these fucking animals. I like this one. Don't get me wrong, I like this one. I think it's because she was raised by a Great Pyrenees and a Saint Bernard who are both like, fuck you. And so she's taken on a lot of dog traits too. But I like this cat. But it's still, the litter is hers and taking care of the dogs is mine, right? Like I'm not a cat person per se. I can get along with this cat, but I'm not a cat person. What are you laughing at, Jacinda? have to buy another one for when I want to smoke in the house because I don't have much left on here. But I gotta hope this guy charges again because you can't find these in Saskatchewan. You can find the batteries in Saskatchewan all over, but you can't find the batteries where you can edit the power to tell you how high you're going to get.
I'll ask one of my friends. He's pretty knowledgeable about stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not.
I'm not either, you know. I just know what I like. I do know that I can't drink the beer infused with pot because if the alcohol and the THC is entering my system at the same time, I become the most anxiety-ridden mess you'll ever meet.
Oh,
and
fuck.
My wife does not want to deal with that.
No, I get that. With THC, I end up with paranoia. And it's fucking stupid because cigarettes, when I used to smoke those, they calm me down. But if I smoke pot, I get paranoid and I get jittery, and I'm like, why? It's supposed to be depressant, but it doesn't work that way for me, apparently. Pot reminds me when I smoke it, it reminds me of getting really giggly drunk.
It's called crystal meth. No, I wasn't on crystal meth. I didn't touch drugs. I had blood tests every month for what I was doing sports wise. I wasn't into any funky things. Hell, my wife right now, when my back stops working, she's like, "Why don't you just take Robaxacet or this?" I'm still in my 40s, ingrained into the drug testing I was doing until I was about 23, which was you couldn't even take aspirin. Like aspirin could show up in your blood tests as a performance enhancing drug. How? I don't fucking know, but it could. So I'm done now. I'm old, my body's done. Fuck, I can throw my back out doing things that we're not going to talk about because it'll come back up if I ever run for office. But
You could do it taking a shit.
I have done it taking a shit. The fact I'm allowed to go to the washroom alone at work is amazing.
Well, I'm not fucking holding your hand, so forget it.
Well, Jen has now dealt with the fact that I came in after pulling my back out, and I came in when I had that giant red welt. And she goes, the second one, she's like, "What the fuck happened?" I'm like, "I dropped the leader phone, and I bent over to pick it up, and I smoked my face on the hook." And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "A lot."
Lots of things. You want me to start at 1 or 15?
Cat poop stories. No, so cat poop stories. So there was now again, alcohol and weed are basically all I've ever touched in my life. I cannot say I did not abuse alcohol in my younger years, but the cat poop story just brought this story up. So I was at a party, and again, this was before I even touched weed. I was drinking and nothing else. It was hard drinking, but I was drinking. And one of the characters on my show from back when I was in Ontario, some of you might figure it out because I know that Ken, the man-child, told a story about this at some point. But we were at a party. And it was the type of party where a certain substance was carried around on a glass tray. Again, just alcohol myself. And you partake in things that are illegal, you partake in those things. But this tray was being carried around, and somebody on my cast was also there and was drunk and was wobbly and wobbled into said person. And said person tripped, and this tray with something white on it fell into the cat litter. And it was the point of the party where the people that liked the stuff on the on the glass tray were looking at said cat litter, thinking, "Is it worth it?" Luckily, nobody snorted cat litter, but there was that thought on some people's minds.
That's fucking bad. One of my buddies, when he broke up with his girlfriend, she'd stolen his shit and gave some of it to her new boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. During their breakup, he packed up all of her shit. And when he was doing so, he accidentally knocked her toothbrush off the kitchen, or off the bathroom sink into the cat litter box. He never told her. He smushed some cat shit with it, rinsed it off so it didn't look like anything, and just put it in her stuff. About 3 weeks later, she came back claiming that she had left other stuff around the house. She came back, she had cold sores all around her mouth. I'm like, dude, that's not funny. But in all honesty, it was.
Well, Jacinda, Douglas is gone. Multi, if you're still, everyone that's here, thank you for joining us. James, thank you. I hope your wife does good in the next few days. But we're going offline because I got to go upstairs shortly. Bye-bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Boom.